Off the mood here, especially heading over to our map picks and bans over here. Invicta is going to win that coin toss, getting map number 1 and map number 3, which is going to be Hardpoint and Domination. Now they have that upper hand against Velvet, which is going to be very interesting because we already know that you need to have the upper hand here every single time basically, and search and destroy. That's going to be the pick of Velvet. Now it's interesting to see how they're going to be able to actually play in Hardpoint, especially knowing what kind of bans that they're going to be making. If they ban a specific map, let's say Crossfire, right, it means they're not comfortable in those long range engagements. And here we go, firing range and summit is going to be banned. So you can actually find the psychology of the team with their bans. It means they're not strong here, or the opponent is strong in these maps. Them banning summit, Velvet, it means maybe they might have a difficult time with close range engagements. But here we go, standoff Hardpoint. AJ, you already know this.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to take Hardpoint at standoff, right? Hotel Yard always is a problem. And, once you allow one of the warehouse or house to be taken over, bakery as well, it's very easy to set up a towering defense in that. So whoever who gets the special forces base first is going to be having a problem, because that's most probably going to be their spawn point through the game. It's going to be a game of chess at the standoff with the spawn resets, because it's a very, very small map for those rotations. Let's see exactly how Gaijin Invicta will prevent Velvet, who's really great on the gun skills, to stop them, from resetting their spawns and, of course, going in for their own play. The same exact maps getting banned off for the second game as well, Search and Destroy. And let's see what Velvet will go in to bring us to. Please don't be Tunisia. 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 Please.
Oh, thank God. It's going to be Raid. Okay, that breath of fresh air that we have here for Raid. And yes, it's very nice to see this map. We already know this map is going to be absolutely great for Search and Destroy. Now, it's going to be a big and well-balanced map here in Raid. You need to be able to be careful here because it's so fast. A lot of things can happen here, and a lot of things can go wrong really fast as well. But then Raid is definitely a map that you really want to pick, especially if you have a really strong sniper. We already know from NU Anarchy's position here, they really love this map because their sniper Bayman did such a good job here. And maybe the girls from Invicta and Velvet, maybe they took a little bit of lessons when it comes to you do RSG and also with NU Anarchy in taking this map.
Yeah, the problem with Raid also is that it's got a lot of buildings for you to sneak in and out of. You can use the kitchen, you can use the gym, you've got the gallery in there as well, top and bottom floor. So lots of spaces where you can force a close quarters combat. So the KRM as well as, the QQ9 is going to be shining at this map. You need to have a true balance, especially if you want to drop in for Search and Destroy, right? You can't just be continuously forcing a long range engagement and then lose out on those close range combat. Firing range, crash, doped out of Domination. And Gaijin Invicta have got the final chance to say, where do you want to go? And they say, let's dance at Crossfire. So we will be able to see those snipers pop off as well. But this is going to be Domination. And the best part about playing it on this map is whoever who goes in for the side of, let me collect my thoughts here, the Special Forces base, right? They need to hold on to the office building. If they can close...
Completely agreed with that one. That was such an amazing analysis of what actually happened over here. But then let's head over to this hard point right now, which is going to be a very interesting pick here, which is going to be standoff, because we already know it's a classic map. It's going to be the battle of who is going to be able to actually defend P1, and Granny is going to be quite the war zone. And AJ, I think right now it's anyone's battlefield because P1 is going to be so hard to defend because it's so open.
Okay, now let's see exactly what the teams tell us, right? Because it is supposed to be a hard point to defend. And then some teams just go in there and they tap out all the points from that hard point. And Hotel Yard is not contested at all. Like what we saw between XVG as well as 2100s yesterday. The 2100s, they didn't want to contest for Hotel Yard. They were afraid of the Hotel Yard. And that just played into XVG's hands, right? And, so some teams have gone in there and dominated, but in the form of Velvet as well as Gaijin Invicta. Look at the fact that they don't even bother going and playing for those hard points just yet. They want to flush out each and every single one of these players from that house. Are we going to be able to see a heavy engage for this hard point? Because at the moment, 31-12 is quite a nice lead that Velvet have for themselves.
Exactly, and the late rotation off of Gaijin, now that was a little bit, that was very unfortunate, but right now, they did such a good job. Now, even though that they had that late rotation, they were able to win those gunfights right now, but then just like that, it's going to be contested yet again, but then they have such strong defense, and even though they had that late rotation, the spawn is going to be in their favor, as it's going to be right behind that wonderful P3, and right now they have such a good hold, and it's all about having all that slayers come out, because if you're at gas station, you really need to have someone out there, because someone's going to be heading over here. You can see it has flipped already in favor of Velvet.
Yeah, when we talk about the second hardpoint warehouse, it's really easy to drop in and lock it down. And that's exactly what we were expecting Gaijin to be able to pull off there. But unfortunately, Velvet has gone in to take their place to pull off exactly that move, to lock the warehouse down. And it's quite easy to do, but if your opponents can, outclass you on those gun skills, then, life just gets a little bit more difficult. A very early rotation now into your third hardpoint, into house, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And Gaijin Invicta, they were there first, and they will go ahead to open up the hard point. Bloom with the opportunity to go in here and change that, but unfortunately will not check that one corner that Ellen managed to go in and camp at. And for the time being, Gaijin Invicta will have the hard point, but turned around by Velvet as they lead the game 68-37.
It's because they have such amazing gun skills right now. Even though that the rotation was good for Gaijin Invicta, they were able to actually get it again. Oh my god, they were able to actually get it against it, but then just so quickly. Now, this is what you know. This is what we know. These teams are really good that no one can actually take the hard point for a really long time. And you can see here, everything is being contested, which is really great. But the rotation needs to come here in Bakery. Now, we already know Bakery is going to be the most important hard point to actually get, because it is a money hill. Whoever gets this hardpoint the most is most definitely going to win.
Yeah, I believe that hardpoint truly belonged to Gaijin Invicta because it was their spawn point as well. If you lose your spawn, if you lose your hardpoint where you're spawning at, you get reset, and that's it, right? Velvet has just screwed you over, and they will go ahead to play that to perfection, allowing the catch-up gameplay. And this opportunity to overtake at Bakery will be exactly what Gaijin needs, and they go ahead to do it, because this is where they will change things for themselves. 79-72. Keiki coming in to do the damage. FHJ does not connect, and neither does those shots, as Gaijin Invicta will hold on to that Bakery, bake in that bread. Oh, the denial coming in for a few seconds as Velvet will take over this hard point. And here we go. The fight just gets spicier as now Team SG tries to play catch up.
This is the concern that I was having while watching the feed and watching the map, was that Gaijin Invicta, they all rushed in and played OBJ, leaving no slayers and anchors outside of the map, because it's important to have people over here in mid tank and statue to spawn off everyone from mid, because they have that lane covered, they have mid covered, they even have greenhouse really covered, and if you kill people from statue, they are gonna spawn all the way over in gas station, and that was definitely a very weak point from them. No one was outside, and right now we have that rotation in first hardpoint yet again.
Okay, now this is where perfection will come through. This is where we see where the teams stand in terms of being able to call their strategies. Rosie will pick up the hard point, but only because it was given to them by Velvet. Did you see the exit coming in from Elmo? Backs away and lures them in. But has that sacrifice been enough? Because not only have they allowed them to step into the hard point, they are now not able to take it back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, which leads to Gaijin Invicta catching back attack right up on those points. Keiki trying to get that damage done, but being contested by both teams, which means no, neither side will pick up on these points. That's what I love about the Valkyries. That's what I love about these ladies. If I don't get it, oh girl, you ain't gonna get it too. As Davy will just march on like the goddess that she is and just dominate in this match. Team Velvet, they now have got a real true problem on their hands. They've dropped into warehouse and it's being held on by Gaijin Invicta. Access 1 on the defense, and Davy, like the goddess she truly is, will march on untouchable.
They really need to get this done right now. They need to rotate them farm, go into that 2F in green warehouse, because we see here the XS1 Goliath is going to be such a pain in the butt and they can't even contest it. Now this is going to be surprising right now as we see such a powerful gameplay here by Gaijin, and Devi doing such a good job and really having that amazing effort. She was there camping with the XS1 Goliath when there was still 50
coming in from Velvet, but that final play as they dropped in, I can't say it's final play as well, because they really built up towards this, right? And Mia was just so impressive in so many of those hard points. Elmo as well on the side for Team Velvet, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but Purge as well. So they used to be kind of sort of from the same brand in here, but I highly doubt that they were going in there scrimming against each other a lot. It's just for namesake as far as anything is concerned. The most important thing to note is tanking the sort of changes last minute and being able to keep your composure at a competition of this level against a team like Velvet, right? Bloom shutting down Gaijin Tokyo early in this game, but that's after Sovella got taken down. Now Davy just stepping through, but Bloom once again equaling things up. Mia not able to change things around this time, and it's going to be Rosie as well as Ellen, a 3-on-2 situation. And where is the bomb, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It is with Velvet being planted all the way down there at that basketball court.
An amazing effort here by Rosie. It's really nice to actually see this. It's a 1v2 situation. AJ, it's going to be amazing here. It's a 1v1 now.
Oh, she needs to be careful because Rosie, she's got that sniper on her. How will we be able to catch her off? And it is Bloom not even thinking twice about what her move should be. They knew she was a sniper and she knew she could not win a combat from such a distance. She needs to close the gap down, but that is a risk that you take because a quick no scope can come through from that sniper. A quick flick shot can come through from such a gifted sniper. But are you cakey, Rosie? Are you cakey? The answer is no, as Velvet look to capture this game. Davy slicing Keiki out of the equation as Bloom just goes on to be such a beautiful flower in this game, making all of the difference. Davy unable to do anything against this flower, still blooming through these rounds. Ellen, the final player left with the Man of War in hand.
Bloom in the previous round had 4 kills. So close to getting that ace, and you already know you're in trouble when a player like Bloom is still in the competition, especially if you're the only one here. And the problem is here for Gaijin Invicta, they are a little bit too aggressive, knowing that they are on the defense right now, AJ. The name of the game is that you wait for the plan, maybe get and play for some picks, but then they went in there a little bit too aggressive.
The name of the game is You Dare Beat Velvet? This is the response. But here's the thing, Gaijin Invicta, they've done it once. Doing it again is not gonna be a problem at all. But this is where Velvet is playing the game of, just pure strategies. Just going in here to shut them down early to show that if they wanted to be dominant, in this game, they can be. And that might just shake Gaijin Invicta off, or will it? Because Gaijin, they have got an opportunity to change things around with Tokyo opening things up by shutting down that beautiful flower.
Oh, that was such an amazing, valiant effort here, and the rotation is coming a little bit too late here for the side of Velvet, and Velvet seems to be really racking up all of these points right now, all of these kills, but not really doing enough, as right now they are split. You can see the map here, you can see the blue here. It's going to be a split situation for Gaijin, and they're going to have a lot of trouble if they don't stick together here. 2v3 situation, and it's going to be difficult for them, especially now that the it's been planted, the bomb has been planted.
Okay, so this is one thing that we need to talk about in terms of Raid, right? It is super duper similar to playing Raid when you play Tunisia. Why? Because one thing that's similar about these two maps is they're big. You want to make your rotation from one bomb site to the other. It's going to take you a while. And when you have got the chopper in your hands and it's going to be weighing you down, a player like Davy, although, you know, bringing that chopper in is going to do her a lot of favors, she's not going to be able to make those rotations as fast as she wants to be. And you know, running through with that melee weapon isn't going to be helping her that much as well. LMOJ, as she opens things up against Mia in here, it's going to be a 5-on-4 so early on. Make that a 5-on-3. Rosie just trying to equal things up. Davy doing the damage for her team. That chopper, yes, it brings in a few mana of kings. It slows you down, but it gets the job done right.
The bomb has been planted.
Exactly, and right now they are at an even playing field, but maybe not so even. As we see here, the bomb has been planted and the rotation is going a little bit right for both of these teams. But oh, here we go. Davy's doing such a good job, but then oh, here we go with the response, AJ.
Okay, Keiki with a 2-piece so far. Davy unable to do it against a player like Keiki. Wow! Keiki! Hashtag Valkyrie! Keiki, yo, what the hell? Such dominant gameplay from this lady.
Such perfection here by Velvet. Everything is right. Keiki is on fire. Bloom is on fire. Everyone is doing so well. The rotations, the communication. It's going to be a complete devastation here for Gaijin. It's going to be all out. They need to go all out. They need to have a single point. They need to play it a little bit cooler here. They need to step it back a little bit.
Now, you see, we expect Velvet to take 5 rounds. In here, it's the attacking side. The attacking side calls the pace of a match. In a map like this, Bloom shutting down Tokyo. No Sakura season this year, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Head on over to Singapore instead, if you're allowed to travel due to the current conditions. Boys and girls, as Bloom will once again go in there to perform. Mia, this time shut out of the equation. Elmo J with the opportunity of a 2-piece. Goes in for the shot, gets 1, gets 2, and gets it done right. But unfortunately, for the side of Gaijin Invicta, SG will slay and ravage through the first 5 rounds. And now the advantage will go back to the Philippines, speed.
The enemy has the bomb.
Okay, so we can already tell that Search and Destroy, a non-respawn game mode, might be the kryptonite of Gaijin Invicta, especially going up against a team like Velvet. They need to go back to the drawing board as they are pushing yet again, as they have the advantage of really setting up the pace. Now, maybe they're better at the attack. Maybe they're not really good at defense. And over here, it's still not the case, AJ.
One by one they go down, and there's no other way. There's no other thing that you can expect. Team Velvet, they are pissed. The ladies are pissed. I told you, this is one of the best female squads in the Call of Duty mobile scene. You cannot go up against Team Velvet and take them lightly. And that was an upset. That truly was an upset in game number 1. They did not expect to tank an L. And I feel they would have been so disappointed with their performance. And this is where they're making up for all of those disappointments. But Davy just planning to be a pain. But she will get shut down anyway. As a dominant
played it well, maybe not until the very last second, but we already know how good they are. But let's look at the post-game breakdown with Gaijin Devi having those 6 kills, but then Bloom absolutely dominating the competition with 13 kills in Search and Destroy. Absolutely crazy stuff here. And we can already
speaking, what Gaijin Invicta has been through recently, they should not be able to take a W over such a strong team like Velvet. But if they are able to do What a riot that will be.
Yep, exactly. And we're going to be seeing here choppers galore in here in Crossfire. Back to the chopper! That's what they say here in Crossfire because the wall bangs are just so amazing. And right now with the kill feed, AJ, you can see who's dominating here real quick.
Yeah, oh, okay. Now, I didn't expect this, but very good movement coming in here from Gaijin Invicta. They immediately go to distract them at that Charlie location, and the capture will come through at the Gorilla base. And just like that, Velvet do not have the pressure in the game. NX Bot will now be lured in and slain by Gaijin Invicta. That's how you play Crossfire. The ladies showing perfection. Davey now going to be locking everyone as expected with that chopper. Power position captured. Keiki gonna be dropping in with the chopper as well to do that damage. Look at the comeback in here because it's a triple cap from Gaijin Invicta as well as Alpha gets pulled back by Velvet. What are they gonna do? Because the Singaporeans started off strong, but the Filipinos, they slapped the taste out of the mouth with that response.
Now this is what I'm talking about. Now one of the best strategies you can do is to have that distraction gameplay, thinking that there will be a gunfight in Bravo. No, you are going to have it in Charlie or in Alpha. You want to have that distraction because they will assume that you will head over to Bravo. But just like that, you can see here on the feed, AJ, Velvet is heading over here in Charlie.
And let's see if they'll be able to pull off the exact same distraction. They pull off the distraction plus the Bravo pick thanks to Vapi! Are we gonna be able to see a triple cap fall through? And Bloom is there as well, which means the answer is hell! Yeah, as Velvet will now ravage through with a triple cap. And here comes the play from the Singaporeans, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Rosie, as she prowls through, Ellen with the defense as well, but nothing they can do as Elmo takes a two-piece. Bot in there for that backup as well as Elmo gets slain by Davey. This is the kind of gameplay that we expect at the highest of highest level, and it's Gaijin Invicta as well as Velvet serving it up on a silver platter for everyone in here today.
And right now, they were able to actually get that Charlie flag, which is a good start. Really breaking that triple cap, AJ. And right now, they need to make that rotation in as a team because, right, they are actually very spread out. They are sparse, and they need to really head over here as a unit. And you can see right now, Charlie's being taken by one person yet again.
Let's see if or not they will be able to pull Bravo back. NX Bot trying to get that damage done, but that Bravo side needs to fall. That Bravo side will not be captured. But the prevention might just come through. Look at NX Bot come in here, and they will get it as well at that halfway point mark. They deny Gaijin Invicta from making a comeback, but it has been enough points pulled by Gaijin Invicta in round number 1 here, Beef. This is not gonna be a very tough battle to go back in and give that fight to Velvet.
Yep, exactly. And right now, they need to do that same strategy as they did in that very strong half. They faltered at the very end of that first round, but it's still very possible for them to actually pull through, especially with that distraction gameplay. They did such a good job, and right now, they not need to fall into that pressure, but we see here 2 points are being captured.
2 points captured. Velvet trying to make the Mustachio look good by dominating all of those players from Gaijin Invicta. Are they gonna give us the W that we already predicted? Or will Gaijin Invicta say, hell no, go to hell with your predictions, because we will rise up from the ashes? Because in the ashes, they seem to get buried right now, as Velvet has been dominating this game from the get-go. It is now at that 100-point mark. Gaijin Invicta stuck at 53. They cannot touch Bravo. They cannot touch Alpha. They cannot touch Charlie. What can they touch except the air around them, Beef?
Absolutely nothing, AJ. And they are squabbling. Everyone is in they're not gonna have a good time here, especially with all of that solid defense coming into Velvet. They need to make one solid push, and they are finally going to get Alpha. But then after that, they need to make an explosive effort to get that triple cap. That's the only thing that they can do. But in a map like Crossfire, it's going to be hard to actually really defend and keep that triple cap long enough to actually get the lead here and get the win.
Now y'all understand why I said it was such an upset that Gaijin Invicta pulled in game number 1. Because here you have Team Valkyrie showing the world exactly how big the difference in terms of quality is between the two teams. They will go ahead to teach them a lesson for pulling away game number 1. But here comes Rosie with that strong gameplay to take back Bravo. Solo, can she get it done? But Vapi just carrying Rosie away from her point. Will she be able to pull this back? Vapi is ring around the Rosie and 2 players getting taken down so easily as Velvet annihilates Gaijin. Gaijin Invicta that punished them for it in game number 1 by taking that W and by teaching them the lesson so early in the game. You know the girls from Singapore are never, ever gonna let their guard down in the competition again.
Oh, that everyone in the Velvet squad is so amazing. And let's look at the points here right now. I am so glad that the streak is over. We finally have 1 win, 2 losses here from Gaijin Invicta. Gaijin gets the first game hard point, 150 to 112, and Velvet gets the last 2, which is going to be Search and Destroy and Domination, absolutely crushing it in this competition. Now, this was a very humbling experience, I think, for Velvet, and really not letting your guard down, especially knowing that maybe you are good, but you can never tell what your enemy is going to be. And it's very important here. Now,